Okay, it's time for a garden update. It is June 21st, and we are in southwestern Ontario between Toronto and Niagara Falls. Okay, so against this fence here, this is my cilantro just starting to come in. We had started to plant chives there, but they don't really seem to be growing, so I'll probably put another batch of cilantro once this one gets a little taller. Our herb bed here, tarragon, thyme, curly parsley, which is not looking too good. Then we have some chives. We've been harvesting that quite regularly. And then some Thai basil, which is going to seed. It looks like beautiful purple flowers starting to develop. Against the fence here, we have blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. And some of them, they're starting to develop fruits. There's the raspberries, some blueberries, some more blueberries over here. You can see it. And these are blackberries. Eventually we will build a raised bed here for these. In bed number 1 here, we stand back a little bit. We have peas against the trellis, and that trellis is 3.5 foot high, so that's getting to be about the 6 foot mark for the peas. We'll be harvesting them very shortly, probably in the next week or two. In front of the peas, this is a sunberry plant, and as you can tell, there is tons of little berries developing on those. Here's some right here. Those will go to a purple, and we're going to make jam out of them. And then hopefully that will be out of there by the time that this Brussels sprout gets too big, but that is just starting to develop there. We had lettuce. We had 4 heads here. It's getting a little bit late, hot for lettuce. We've harvested 3 heads already, so we have these 2 left. We also have another sunberry plant here. Beside that is a mystery plant, which I thought originally was an Anaheim pepper, but the flowers are yellow, and my other Anaheim peppers, the flowers are white. So this is obviously not an Anaheim pepper, so we're wondering what this is going to turn out to be. I'm a little bit worried that this may be a tomatillo. See by the pattern of the leaves, it's got this little indentation here, and that's typical of tomatillos, and tomatillos have yellow flowers. If that's a tomatillo, it won't have enough space there because that's a gigantic plant. Beside the tomatillo, or supposed tomatillo, one of our basil plants, we have some scallions that are just scattered randomly. When we have the little roots left after we eat them, we plant them and regrow them. Some marigolds in there. A tomato plant, which originally we thought was a sweet melon. That's about 3.5 to 4 foot tall right now. But the fruit are getting pretty big, actually. I don't know if you can see that very well. But that's definitely not a sweet melon. The fruits are too big. So it'll be interesting to see what tomato this truly is. Kind of hoping it's a San Marzano. It's my favorite tomato. Another sunberry in behind it. Then in raised bed number 2, we'll stand back. Okay, so going from left to right here, we have another basil plant, San Marzano, hanging from the trellis here. Then in this section here, covering the ground, are what are called ground cherries. Let's see if we can find a sample. Right, related to tomatillos, that is what the fruit looks like. It develops little husks, and the cherries grow inside and they fall to the ground, hence the name ground cherries. Then we have 2 Better Boy bush tomatoes. So they don't grow very high. The fruits are just starting to develop there. Then we have 3 green bean plants, which are just starting to grow. So you can see the developing there. And it looks like we have some kind of a beetle there. Maybe that's a cucumber beetle. It's another basil plant. I spray my plants every week with neem oil, and really there's not a whole lot of insect damage. Garlic. So this is a German hardneck garlic that we planted last fall. So we'll be harvesting that around 1st, 2nd week of July, so about 2 to 3 weeks. Then in raised bed number 3, it's a mass of leaves there, but what we have here is a Brussels sprout with a zucchini behind it. And as you can see, we got lots of different zucchinis growing. Then we have a Brussels sprout, which is really getting crowded out here. Don't know if this is going to last. Then we have another sunberry. Tons of fruits and flowers developing on that one. Sunberries look like they're going to produce a lot. And then beside that is another ground cherry. There's an example of the fruit there. Okay. This area here we're going to eventually put in another bed for next year. And this is the last bed here, which we have pepper plants, and then behind it on the trellis cucumber and cucamelons. So the pepper plants, oh, there's a sage in behind there too. So the pepper plants, this is a Hungarian bell, which they grow kind of small and squat. They're supposed to be good for stuffing. Then we have an Anaheim who's looking a little pale right now. This is called a Rio de Oro pepper. Another Anaheim, also looking a little pale. And this is a Hungarian bell next. You can see all the fruits. Sorry for my camera work, it's kind of hard to use it with one hand and describe what I'm seeing here. And then we have a Rio de Oro pepper. Lots of fruits growing on that one. It's a hot pepper. And then another Hungarian Pell, which we have 6 or 7 developing and more flowers on the way. I had a couple of pepper plants left over that I didn't have the heart to throw away, so I just planted them in the back. That is an Anaheim, and that's a Hungarian Bell. So we'll see. Then we have the cucumber, which is growing up the trellis now. It's got some flowers growing on it. So it is about 1.5 feet maybe so far. Beside that, on the trellis as well, that's a red Malabar spinach, which is starting to go. So Malabar spinach loves the hot weather, so I'm hoping that as the days get hotter, that will climb. And then on the ground here, beside the Malabar spinach, is another Malabar spinach right here. And then the little things here, there, and there's another one in behind it, which is kind of hard to see. Those are cucamelons. So those will grow up the trellis. I do have a cucamelon in bed number 1, which is the first plant on the pea trellis. Let me see if I can show you some examples here. There's the little tiny fruits. One there, one there. So it kind of looks like a mini watermelon. It's a combination of a cucumber and a watermelon, but it really doesn't taste, it tastes like a cucumber with a hint of lime apparently. So we're kind of excited. That's our biggest one right now. So they grow about the size of an olive. So lots of peas to harvest. So we'll see what happens. Oh, I have strawberries on the fence here, which the birds are really been having a go at. So we put the netting up, but as you can see, the birds went completely through my dollar store netting. So I ordered some better netting, then I'm going to cover this a little better. But we have lots of flowers. We've eaten a couple strawberries, but the birds have gotten more than we have. So the plan is, you can see here, is I've been working on putting in to block off my backyard so I can mulch. When I first started this was all completely bushes and trees. I dug it all up, put in the raised garden beds, and laid down the mulch. So I got a little bit mulch to put on, more mulch to put on, but I'm pretty happy with the way it's going right now. The ground is slanted downwards, and it used to be really uneven, and the mulch has really helped to make it even and nice to walk on. And that will be the goal for the rest of the backyard. Is next year I'll fill this area in with mulch. There's going to be another raised bed going along the side of my deck here. This container here is leaf mold. So these were leaves that I collected last year. I shredded them up, put them in this barrel, add water. Once in a while I'll add some greens if I'm pruning any of the plants, and let the sun do its job. And it's decomposing. So I will have a whole barrel of really nice compost to use next year. That plant right there on the deck in the little blue container, that's a bee balm. So I think what we're going to do next year is these blueberry plants will probably move against the back fence, and right there we'll be building a raised bed that we're going to put bee balm in, and maybe some flowers for my wife. We want something to attract the hummingbirds, and we have a hummingbird feeder there, so the bee balm will be below the hummingbird feeder. So we're hoping that we'll see some hummingbirds next year. Okay, so that is July 21st. I'm pretty happy with the way things are going so far. We've harvested lettuce and radishes. Peas are next. And then come early July, I'll be starting to plant the seeds for the fall crop. Turnips, Swiss chards, and other varieties of root vegetables. But so far, so good. We'll see you in a few weeks.